Greetings, fake horse racing fans! Welcome back to the newest, the hottest, the coolest, the insert adjective of your choice hereist, Sim Horse Racing Podcast. This is the Morning Line. Are we qualified? No, but we're gonna do it anyway. I'm Nini Hunter.
I'm Maraves.
I'm Dylan Christensen.
And this week, we're gonna have a totally scripted, totally well-prepared, completely not improvised preview of all the Pegasus races. And then we're gonna talk about some more Triple Crown stuff at the end. Sound good?
Yeah, and I just want to say that we're recording this like an hour after the Stewart Bread auction finished, so we're all feeling pretty good.
In a year, we will not be feeling good. But
yeah, that's true. Why is this an allowance peak? I spent $1 million on it. Oh, okay.
Just brace yourself for disappointment already. There's no point in like having hope for anything. Just don't have hopes or dreams, and everything is like probably going to be substantially less disappointing.
Sounds like the move.
Welcome to Sim Horse Racing Podcast, everybody.
New players,
positive vibes only.
If you're listening, new players, that's a veteran tip from those of us who've been around the block.
Just
don't have dreams. Never love anything.
That's right.
We're starting off on a depressing note.
The only thing we can all love together is this podcast because it's pretty sick. So I believe the lovely Mara will be starting us off here with the Pegasus Summit.
Yes. I'm still not used to my new name, but that is okay because we're just going to go with it. Okay, yeah, so Pegasus Summit, and I have lost the race. Hold on a second.
We're professional here on the Morning Line. We got it all the time. We know exactly what's going on, totally prepared.
Of course. Yeah, why wouldn't you think we're totally like this is totally completely scripted. All the screw ups and everything. Okay, anyway, we got the Pegasus Summit. All Pegasus races are for 4-year-olds and up. This one's going 6.5 furlongs on the all-weather track at Artificial Arena. So we've got 8 horses entered. Not a lot of like real big standouts. Pretty much everybody's coming in off a 3-year-old year, so a lot of 4-year-old debuts. There's one 5-year-old, but he's kind of not done much. He's only made $35,000 in his career, so he's lightly-ish raced when you compare it to some of the others. One of the big names in here, I imagine, would probably be Fluoride Foam, who won the Stewards Cup Synthetic Speed last year 55. So, and that's a filly. So she's gonna take on the boys. And then another big one's probably going to be the horse that finished second in the Stewards Cup Synthetic Sprint, which is Slayer of Enemies, which is a homebred for Jack Meyer. So we're just going to go right into who I think will be doing some good things. To win, I like Zinich, I think is how you say it, filly. She was 4th in the Stewards Cup Synthetic Speed, but she won the Artificial Dash, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, she won with a 92, which is that's pretty good. And also beat Older in that race. Next up, I have Fluoride Foam. I think we're going to see a filly exacta in this race. And then the last one, or rounding out the try, I have Kitamat for homebred for Laura Smith. Has been off since week 14, day 5, but I think has a lot to... I like what he's bringing into this race.
Yeah. So
he was a Stewards Cup winner too. Just sorry, Dylan, but he won the Stewards Cup in year 54.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go pretty different route. I'm actually gonna have Slayer of Enemies up top, just because he's a colt and he looked really nice in the Stewards Cup. Now he's 4, so looking up. And then Fluoride Foam, since she's coming off a Stewards Cup win, looks really good. And then I'm actually going to follow it up with Tooth Recession, another one for Casey Gillespie. And yeah, looked really good in the Zelda Stakes. Wasn't quite the same in the Stewards Cup, but I think this one looks good for 3rd.
All right, before I give my picks, I'm going to ask what's probably an obvious question. Is Casey Gillespie a dentist or like some kind of oral surgeon or like tooth cleaner? Because we got brush the teeth for her, we got fluoride foam, we have tooth recession. Like, am I missing something? Because those are all
I believe
like,
she is a
Yeah,
dentist.
if I remember correctly, I think she's a dental assistant.
okay, that's sick. Good job, Casey.
Hers better
Doing
teeth.
teeth are important. Okay, I saw that when I clicked on this race because this is definitely not the first time I've studied this in depth before this podcast. But yeah, gotta love those themed horse names. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna agree with Dylan. I'm gonna put Slayer of Enemies on top. He was on a complete roll before the Stewards Cup. Pretty dominant horse here. I really like him to win. Yes. Second, I'm gonna go with Fluoride Foam as well. Again, stealing from Dylan. And in third, I'm gonna have Brush the Teeth, and that's something that I should go do after this podcast, and all of you too, because oral hygiene is important.
Yes.
This is not sponsored by Casey Gillespie. Just saying.
All right. Sorry. Onto the Pegasus Synthetic Mile. This is a really light field of 5. Poke Buffalo has 2 of them in it, actually. And Fantastic Delight is definitely a big standout with, like, way more earnings than the rest of the field combined. So, anyways, in this one, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm going to take Fantastic Delight on top for Kent Saunders. A super nice one. Came second in the Stewards Cup last out. Looks primed to go. And then I'm going to take Hikiao, one of Polk Buffalo's 2 entries here. Looked decent in the Stewards Cup. Not great, but nothing looks amazing here. And then, don't really know how to follow it up, but I am going to go with Going Off for Dusty Clat, since it is a steward bred, and that means something, I hope.
We hope. Yeah,
okay, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, Fantastic Delight. That's the single here. Probably the best bet of the entire Pegasus card. Now watch him lose after this. Sorry, Kent Saunders, for jinxing your wonderful horse. But yeah, for me, Fantastic Delight on top. Then I'm going to go with Hikiao for Polk Buffalo. And then Ride Sally Ride, also a steward bred, to fill out the filly. Hashtag resist.
I am going to go with Fantastic Delight, shocker. Then I'm going to go with Going Off for Dusty Clat. And then probably Hikiao for Polk Buffalo.
Awesome. Onward now to the Pegasus route. This one is a mile and 3/16. Again, on the synthetic. We got a pretty good field of 8 here, 4 millionaires. We have last year's winner, Avacus, coming back. We have fan favorite Longbird. We have the dominant Franzia. We have a really nice filly in Allura showing up. This is a really solid field. I'm pretty new to like all weather. Like, I know it was always there, but I haven't really, paid attention to it until recently. Sorry, all weather people, but better late than never. It's really hard for me to go against Franzia here. He's just a complete and utter beast. Avacus did win this race last year, and then Franzia destroyed in the Stewards Cup Synthetic Classic. Sincerely doubt the extra 16th of a mile is going to put him, behind here. But I'm going to go with Franzia on top, then Longbird for Danny Derby, followed by Avacus for Christophe Desjardins. And of course, Franzia is a homebred for Garrett Folsom. Wonderful horse.
I have the exact same thing as you, Nini. Like, I'm not adding anything else to that.
Yeah, I'm like slightly different. I got Franzia on top, obviously. Not going to bet against him like I did in the Stewards Cup. And then obviously Longbird for Danny. And then followed by actually Allura instead for Garrett Folsom again.
Garrett Folsom comes in here loaded with 3, with Franzia, of course, the dominant horse. Then you have Allura, who finished second to Margot and the Synthetic Matron, and then has this other horse, Highlander, who was second in the Matron, or not in the Matron, the Marathon.
Really all look very nice.
Garrett Folsom with that chokehold on this race. Will he win? Probably.
Probably.
Probably. Disclaimer, we do not have a crystal ball.
No. But we are very, very much prepared for this podcast.
Super.
Don't you worry. So next we're moving on. Going into Florida now at Sunshine Park. Next up is the Pegasus Dash, 6 furlongs on the turf. Currently we're sitting at 9 of 14 entries, 4 millionaires. 2 of them are like pretty big standouts though. So you have Feather Shadow, who I believe won the race last year, and Protagonist Story was the upset winner of the Chimbo last year. So those two have some bolster earnings because of that. But there are some other big horses in this. Obviously, a Dirk Proven retired last year, so you have him missing. I don't know where Riven Gold is. Maybe he's going to enter after this podcast goes live, and he probably will. Anyway, still some good names, nonetheless. So, but on top, I'm going to go with Hernan Cortez. He's one of the 4 millionaires in here. I did like him coming into the Stewards Cup Turf Sprint, but I think 5 furlongs may have been a touch short for him. He kind of likes, looking back at his past performances, I think he likes being in the mid sprint distance a little bit more. And we're going to go with the defending champ, Feather's Shadow, for Xander Zone. And then to round out the try, I'm going to go with Regina Moore's Homebred Protagonist Story.
Yeah, I'm going to go kind of off the board. I actually really like Fred Astaire for Nicky Everdeen. Super big yearling purchase and hasn't quite panned out, but like those recent numbers look really nice and think he might be ready to run a big one. I'm going to go with Pete and Can You Feel It? Looked really good last out, even though he's coming off a loss. Just super nice figure. Really like it. And then I'm going to go to a slightly more normal pick in Hernan Cortez for Rafa Usaz.
Very nice. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put... Oh my gosh. I don't know why this totally just left my brain of what I was going to do. I'm going to put Northern Avenger on top. Sources tell me this is also Mara's nickname.
Excuse me.
What? He's a good horse.
Northern Avenger?
Yeah, because...
You met me?
An Avenger.
Kid, you're an Avenger now.
Yep. Yes, anyway, Northern Avenger for the Turf Sprint Titan, Laura Smith coming in here off of a very nice Grade 1 win, week 15. I think he's well prepped. He's won a lot of his races. He's 9 for 12 lifetime. He's kind of been not super on the scene, like in the biggest turf sprint races, but I think this is going to be his coming out party. He is a 4-year-old. I think he's going to be a major player in the year. For the second place slot, I'm going to go with Feather's Shadow, last year's winner. It'd be really cool if he could repeat, but I don't see it happening that much. I think he'll be right there, but I don't know if he's going to go ahead and put in another winning performance in this. And to round out the try, I'm going to go with Can You Feel It, Pete Vela.
All right. On to the next one, the Pegasus Sprint. Run over 6.5 furlongs. This has a solid 7 of 14 field. And this looks very nice. A lot of steward breds, though. Only one homebred. So do with that what you will. Anyways, on top, I'm going to take Diabolical X for Xander Zone. She's kind of an obvious pick, in my opinion, because she ran 100 here last year and is coming off a 99 in the Stewards Cup. So she's kind of hard to mess with. Then I'm going to go Devin for Pete Vela. Super nice one. Came third in the Stewards Cup last year, but I think he looks primed to run really well here. I'm going to follow it up with Lord Prism. He looks like he's really coming into his own in his 4-year-old year, and looks like a good pick for third.
I'm going to echo that. I'm going to put Diabolical X on top. She is an absolute beast, a generational talent, one of the best dirt sprinters ever, in my opinion. She's going to try and turn the tables on Devin, who beat her in this race last year. I'm going to pick him for the follow-up spot. And then Lord Prism again, for me. I don't really have anything more to add onto that. I think Dylan hit the nail on the head.
Well, I am deviating from you guys in that I'm flipping Divin and Diabolical X. I think he's going to win. I think she'll, unfortunately, be on the losing side again. I'm not sure she wants... Well, I don't know. It's just tough for fillies to go against the boys.
She doesn't like with the 100 speed figure last year.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, I'm totally prepared. And then Lord Prism on the as third place. It's a struggle getting through this right now.
We're alive. We're so here. We're happy. We're enthusiastic. We just bring the energy.
That's what you want out of a podcast.
The Stewards Cup auction drained us.
Please keep listening to us, guys. We don't have jobs. Actually, that's a lie. We have no livelihood outside.
I'm announcing this because I'm proud of me, and you guys are gonna listen to it. I just got a contract offer, so I'm gonna have a job.
Everyone
Not
clap.
a big deal.
Yeah.
If you're listening, clap.
That was me.
Next up, we have the Pegasus Turf Mile. We have a almost full field of 11 out of the 14 entries. This is such an all-star field. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 millionaires, because I don't know how to count correctly. We have the Stewards Cup winner in here. I think, oh my gosh, I'm so absolutely not with it
Under
right
stars
here.
is, yeah.
Yeah, the Stewards Cup winner under stars. We have last year's winner, Legion of Dreams, continuing here. We have Dream Among Stars, Dreaming Up Wishes, a bunch of dream horses. We have Shallow, who finished second in her Stewards Cup race, the Stewards Cup Million Mare Turf. Very highly billed as the best turf mile filly in the game right now. We have Luxuria, who is behind her. We have such a good field. It would take a long time to run through all of these horses. I think all of these, except 3, are Grade 1 winners, so the talent is definitely there. Super good field. Love all of these horses. All of them are just superb. We got the 2 fillies in there, like I said. The rest are colts. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put Understars on top. I think he is ridiculously good. He always shows up where he is. Kind of maybe taking a chance on him. He is 6, so he's getting up there in age, so there may be a chance that he bounced, like maybe slightly, but I'm going to go ahead and take my chances on that. To finish second, I'm going to take Shallow, the Great Mare, for Ashley Gibson, and to round out the try, I will take Legion of Dreams, last year's winner, for Glenn Larson.
I am going to flip your top 2. I think Shallow's going to take on the boys, do quite well for herself. Then I'm going to put Understars down below. I don't know if he's going to be able to carry his form over to his 6-year-old years, so that's kind of why I'm a little more hesitant on it. And then third, I like Competitive Spirit, who's a homebred for Sten Reno Hawkinson, a millionaire making his 4-year-old debut, and was third in the turf mile, Stewards Cup turf mile in his last start.
Yeah, I'm not really going to deviate a whole lot. Understars up top for me for Pete. Then we're going to go Shallow for Ashley, and then following it up, not totally sure what I want to do, but probably going to go with Legion of Dreams for Glenn Larson. I like that speed.
Next up, we have the dirt mile race. Right now we have 8 of 14 entries, but I don't know where Marvel is, so I'd imagine he's probably going to show up, maybe. He's nominated.
Surely.
Definitely.
Laura likes to enter late.
Yeah. So all of our picks are contingent on what we have in front of us. But if Marvel shows up, he's going to the top of my picks. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, that would be our retcon.
Kentucky Storm is not here either.
Yeah.
So
it's
both
actually
of those?
like kind of a weird field. I remember the dirt mile race, like in the Stewards Cup, being so great and so deep, and now I'm looking at it, and not to say not to like talk down any of these horses or anything, because obviously there's 3 millionaires and they're all stakes winners, but like you look at them and you're just like, that's not the Stewards Cup race.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we have 3 millionaires, including Moonhouse, who of course won the Saudi Cup last year, so he's trying it at a mile now, and he is going to be my top pick for this race. I really liked how he ran in the dirt mile, because obviously that was, I don't think anyone was going to beat those top 2 of Kentucky Storm and Marvel. I think that was kind of a race in and of itself, but he was also 3 lengths ahead of everybody else in that field, and still ran a 96, so that's pretty good. Next up, I got Graduate, I don't know, homebred for Chris Bobby, gelding, so that's kind of fun. And then to round out, I'm going with another Tim Matthews horse in Vernon.
Well, I guess that means I'm up. I think I'm going to go with Army Defense up top. Really like that horse. I mean, it is 5, but it's been very consistent. So, obviously once the others show up, I might flip my picks, but whatever. Then I'm going to go with Graduate for Chris Bobby. And actually, I totally didn't realize Hoon Mouse was here. Scratch that. Put Hoon Mouse on top, then Army Mule, and then Graduate for me. Or Army Defense.
Come on, you have to know Hoon Mouse was in here.
I cannot talk right now.
Get it together, Dylan.
I'm trying.
We know
What's
you
the
just
horse
came
that's
home
won
from
$3 million in this race? Or in his career?
My bad.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm actually gonna take Graduate. What's his face? Cool little gelding. I'm gonna take him on top here. Second, I'll take Moonhouse, the GOAT of all time. No matter what he does, he's the greatest ever. I will not be entertaining any counter opinions because it's
No wrong takes.
correct. Yep.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
And then I'm going to take Centaura to finish third here. I think her last race was a little bit out of character, but I think she can bounce back. But of course, if Marvel and Kentucky Storm show up, they're my 1-2 respectively. Marvel first, Kentucky second. Where are they? Come on,
Gone, but not forgotten.
Laura and Darcy. Don't you guys know we have a podcast to record?
Yeah.
Or more important than you trying to get other people to show up or whatever you're doing.
And we're recording this on a Tuesday and the races run Friday.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
Or do we?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're down to the last two races, the $2 million Pegasus Turf at a mile and 3/16th, and the $2 million Pegasus Classic, also at a mile and 3/16th. We're going to go slower for these since they are the two, quote, big races on the card here. We're going to review each horse individually, one at a time, before making our picks at the end. So with that, the first horse we have up in the Pegasus Turf is Artilleryman for Kane Saracen. Also, I should have said this first. This field is absolutely insane. It is currently oversubscribed at 15 entries. Completely insane. We have, oh my gosh, what's 15 minus 3? That's 12. 12 of the...
Quick maths! Quick maths!
I have a college degree. 12 of the 15 horses here are millionaires. And then we have the one horse that's booted is super good. Multiple Grade 1 winner. Won the Louisville Bun Barrette, so like that's wild. Anyway, Artilleryman, super good horse. Like everyone knows who he is. Everybody knows who all of these horses are, but we're still going to talk about him. Just coming off a crazy win in the Melbourne Trophy where he won by a length and a quarter over Yang Wenli, who is also here, I think. Yes, also here.
We're struggling right now.
You okay there?
Only me would laugh that hard at a dick joke.
Oh my god. I don't know if we're cutting that or we're leaving it in. Just surprise me.
We'll see.
Surprise me. Anyway, Artilleryman won the Melbourne Trophy, but before that he was 9th behind a whole bunch of horses in the ARC. So make of that what you will. He's like super good. The 9th in the ARC was really out of character for him. It was his first time finishing off the board, so maybe that was kind of a coincidence or not his day. Maybe he's just not as good as some of the other horses that I find that hard to believe. Maybe he didn't like the yielding turf there. I don't know. I guess we will never know, or not really never know. We're gonna find out.
When he goes to the ARC this year, eventually.
He does. Yes. This concludes me talking about Artilleryman and making a fool of myself.
Well, I am going to make this short and sweet because Nini wrote an spoken essay on Artilleryman that wasn't even related. Anyway, whatever.
Called out.
Next up, we have Hold On Me for Pete. Pete. Pete Vela. Anyway, this guy, he's coming off a third in the Arima Kinnan.
Sure.
I think. I'm just going to go with that. He was beaten by a fighter and Longbird. Longbird obviously is running on the synthetic on this card. Previous to that, he had won the Gran Primo Sao Paulo. Jeez, okay. That's a great one, by the way. And then another highlight was that he was second in the Saudi Turf Cup and was 4th in this race last year.
Yes. Anyways, next we have Mal for Stormy Peak. And this horse has been like really good, but like deceivingly, because he never runs like huge speed figures, but he's multiple Grade 1 winner. Actually rattled off 3 straight Grade 1s last year before coming second in the Stewards Cup Turf. So, you know, that's pretty impressive. Really the only thing that scares me about him is he's not really had much of a break. He went week 8, day 1, week 10, day 1, 12, day 5, 14, day 5, then 16, day 5, all in pretty major races last year. So it's definitely like makes me wonder if he's kind of exhausted, but the break does weird things, so he might be 100% good to go. And if he is, I think he can definitely hit the board and maybe win.
Good horse, that Mel. Next up, we have Manic, a homebred for Nina Olsen. This is like the horse of her dreams here. By one of the best horses she's ever had, Coleman Hell, out of another one of the best horses she's ever had, Titanic. He's really cute. He has a pretty headshot. He won the Chicago Million last year. He won the Louisville Bunbury last year. He's really good. He was 5th in the ARC, 5th in the Stewards Cup Turf. Maybe he's gonna like shorter here. I really like him. I think he's really cool. Good horse. I like him a lot. He's pretty.
He's pretty.
Next up, we have Me in Black, homebred for Leanne Anderson. Leanne Anderson?
I think it's Leanne.
Maybe it's Leanne. Sorry for butchering your name. This filly won the Stewards Cup in her last start. She's shown a lot of versatility. She can win on the lead, or she can be sitting just off of it. And yeah, that filly in Mare Turf race was pretty good. So I'm excited to see what she can do in this race.
And that moves us on to Moulay El Hassan, or Hassan, I don't know. Someone correct me.
Hassan, you have
Hassan,
it.
okay. Yeah, so this dude's almost undefeated. He finished off the board randomly in his second start and has been a beast since then. Won like a bunch of grade ones, including 3, 4, 5 in a row. So he's definitely tough to take down. Top speed figures, 95. I don't know. I don't really know turf route. Maybe he needs to run a little higher than that to win this, but probably not, considering he just kind of won easy in the Stewards Cup. Yeah, that's all I have to say about him.
Next up, we have Navy Ship for Glenn Escobar, bred by the Steward. This is a 6-year-old by Kimantari, finishing off the board in both the Japan Trophy and the Arima Kinnan, behind some nice horses. His last win was week 11 of year 55 in the Grade 1 Hong Kong champion route. He's a good horse. He's been around. He was second in a Stewards Cup race his 2-year-old year, but he hasn't really been like a star on the scene, you know? Like, he would definitely have to run his best race and then some in order to be competitive here, I think. But you never know.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have another homebred for Leanne Anderson, None So Quiet. This is another one that's kind of needs to run his best race. He's only running 90. That's his top speed figure. And his most recent race was in the Arima Kinnan, was 4th.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had more to say. My bad. Okay. Then we have One Quiet Step for Keith Maidlow. Not like super impressive to me. He won the London Cup week 8 last year and then didn't really do anything and had to pick up an allowance win. So yeah, I don't know. If he bounces back to his top form, he might do all right here, but I just don't know that'll actually happen. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Reese. What is this horse?
Rise? Is that what it is? Rise? Maybe?
Rice?
I don't know.
Rice?
RHYS.
Yes. Well, this very nice one-syllable horse name is a homebred for Nina Olsen by her really good sire Summerland. He's cool. Out of the two-toned mare, Tasty. He won week 16 in a grade 1. I remember the steward was like pretty hopped up on him. She said he was really cool. He is really cool. He's a multiple grade 1 winner now after that. Had a little bit of a slow start to his career, but he's been pretty consistent since winning the Brisbane Derby, aside from an off-the-board finish in the Melbourne Derby. Like some of the others in here, this is kind of his first start in the big leagues. Not that, the grade 1s aren't the big leagues, because they are, but like the ultra, super, mega big turf route races, he's looking to prove himself here.
Next up, we have Ruffian. She's coming off a rough string of races, which, not to say she did bad, she hit the board in all of them, but just some really tough races where she couldn't quite get to the wire first. Clearly, this is her place. She won the Pegasus last year. It just remains to be seen what she can do here.
Next up, we have Summertime Crush, another female in this race. Seems like there's a lot of them, actually. So that's cool. This one was second by a nose to Me in Black in the Stewards Cup Filly Mare Turf, and she had won that race the year previous, so I don't think she had lost a step. Last year she ran against the boys in the Desert Turf Classic, but I don't think she wants a mile and a half, so I think that this distance is a little more suited for her.
Next up, we have the ARC winner with Drama for Glenn Larson, bred by the Steward by Itoko, out of With Care, awesome mare. That rhymed, haha. Anyway, yep, I'm a poet and I did not even know it. Anyway, I'm so sorry. He won the ARC week 14, beat a really, really good field in that race before finishing 3rd in the Stewards Cup Turf that ARC Stewards Cup double is notoriously hard, so he should still be getting a pat on the back for finishing on the board there. Before that ARC, he was on a win streak. He's really good, but the pedigree kind of makes me think that maybe this is too short for him. Regardless, he's a major player and he has to be taken seriously in this spot.
Sure. Next up, Wang Yanli for Danny Derby. Got you. Came second in the Melbourne Turf or Trophy, whatever it is called. Whatever. Okay.
First of all, you're saying Melbourne wrong.
I can't talk. Okay.
It's Melbourne, not Melbourne, like Jason Bourne. I was explaining that. One of my Australian friends explained that to me exactly how
I'm
that
from
was.
the Midwest. We don't say anything right. So.
Dude, I'm from Canada. Don't even get me started.
Anyways, coming off a bunch of grade ones, couldn't win the last two, but looks really good. Obviously, it's a short rest, but I don't really think it matters as much with the break. And yeah, he looks really good. Looks like he could probably win this if he runs his best.
The last horse that we're going to look at isn't also eligible, so I'll just kind of breeze over her. Waltz Me Home, homebred for John Exet. Fourth in the Stewards Cup Billion Mare Turf. She took Summertime Crush down to the wire in the Beverly B Stakes, was second. She was unstoppable in later in the for the first 6 races of her life. She was undefeated, and then she won the Louisville Bumbarette and all that stuff. And then she kind of, when she started hitting open company, kind of fell off. But yeah,
it happens.
Tries, everybody.
For my try, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna take Manic on top for Nina Olson. He is a good horse. He's bred to be good. I think the mile and 3/16 is gonna be good for him. He's really cool, and I just like him a lot. I'm gonna follow that up with Ruffian to finish second. I don't think she'll be able to repeat, but she should be right there. And to round out the try, I'm gonna take Yang Wenli.
All my horses have their names starting with M. So first is Me in Black, second Moulay El Hassan, and third Mal. So that's easy. There was no process to my handicapping, by the way.
Oh, okay, good. We all like to hear it. Yeah, I'll take Moulay El Hassan on top. He's kind of a beast. And I'll go with Yang Wenli, also kind of a beast. Then follow it up with Mal, just because he is always there.
All right. Now for the crown jewel of the Pegasus races, depending on who you ask, but
any sane person.
Right? Yep. Anyway, we're here at the Pegasus Classic, $2 million, a full field of 14, but unfortunately the shiniest star of them all, in my completely unbiased opinion, is not here. My horse, after being bumped from the Stewards Cup Classic, no day but today, he had to go and run in the Los Camp Classic, and he had to win with a 99 and just ball out, but he got bumped from this race again. So I'm sad, and I'm not at all salty, and whatever happens, whoever wins this race, just know that my horse would have won. I can back this up.
Good to know you're not salty.
I'm good. I can back this up with logic and facts. It is absolute fact that my horse would have won. Whoever wins, you're second best.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
That's not going to make people angry.
No, not at all. And just on the real.
They get angry, they can deal with it.
Oh yeah, send all hate mail to Nini Hunter.
Or to Tamara.
Yeah.
No. No. I have the good takes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who didn't take my horse in their try last week?
Oh my gosh.
Who had? You know what?
He only lost by 5 lengths to run third.
Let's talk about Avenger, please.
Yes.
Fine.
Avenger. Good horse for Pete Vela. This horse won the Canadian Triple Crown as a 3-year-old, but kind of other than that, kind of has been an underachiever for Pete Vela. His last major win was in the Awesome Derby when he was 3. Hasn't done a whole lot since. Absolutely blue-blooded horse, but he's kind of looking for that signature win, and this might be his last chance. So he definitely needs to run the best race of his life to be involved, because we have a really sick field ahead of him. Next
up, we have Discover, who's a homebred for Emily Mitchell. This horse is a half brother to the winner of last year's. Dylan, don't laugh at me.
Who says I'm laughing at you?
I lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, he's a half brother to Wolfgard, who won this race last year in the. I guess he was kind of an upset. This guy most notably was third in the Louisville Derby, and then he was also second in the Queen's Derby. Although his Stewards Cup Classic run was not super great, 13th of 16, but it's okay because he's definitely got the pedigree to back him at this distance.
All right. Next up is Lionheart. Not gonna lie, I've never heard of this horse, but he doesn't look half bad. Bred by the steward. Nice little shorter pedigree, and with this being 1 3/16, maybe that'll tailor to him, I guess. Hasn't been on his top game lately, but if he comes back to it, he could be an upset here.
Next up, we have the Baltimore Crown winner, Never Cautious, a homebred from Mike Eaton by Be Prepared out of a Happy This Way mare, You Make Me Happy. Really, really good horse. He won the Baltimore Crown, like I said, and then he won the Arcadia Classic. In between those, he did not do as well in the Long Island Classic and the Midsummer Classic, but I think it's pretty clear that he wants to go a little bit shorter, so this race should be right up his alley. This guy is super dangerous for the win spot.
Next up, we have Stewart's Cup Classic runner-up Parts Unknown. This guy, he was gunning for a simi, definitely for older male. He had been previously undefeated before he lost to Delirium in that classic. So we'll see how he does. He seems to like the shorter routes. He's won at this distance before, won the Puerto Rico Cup with a 98. So I think this is another guy who could be pretty dangerous.
That's right. Next up is Scepter of Power, who you may have remembered as being the Derby possibly favorite last year. Hasn't done a ton since then, but he's a 4-year-old now. Maybe he jumps back and really sees the top of his game. Just the only thing that's scary is his last win was in a Derby prep.
Right, next up we have a homebred for John Exets, So Right, by Saturday Silence out of the Warehouse mare Slips Away. She's really cool. She's a multiple grade 1 winner, was last seen finishing second in the Stewart's Cup Ladies route. She did win a race at a mile and 3/16, so she should be good to go for this. Very versatile filly. It's just a matter of can she keep up with the best of the best.
Next up, we have a horse that I'm mad at. Like, I don't
fight him.
This is Spatula for Pete Vela. I thought he was going to do way better in the Stewart's Cup Classic than he did because he was so fast. And I'm like, God, he's going to be so good. And then he finished 9th and like never menaced. So yeah, but this guy, he won the Queen's Derby, just about set the stakes record there. And the stakes record is, of course, held by the People's Horse. So not whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Not terrible company to be in. Yeah, this guy, and that one run in the Stewart's Cup Classic was the first time that he was ever off the board. And he was also second behind Never Cautious in the Baltimore Crown. But I'm still mad at him because he made me look like an idiot, and I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't think that's a hot take or anything.
Next up is Spachon, the filly that Danny Derby has abused by making her go against the boys all the time. You know, she does pretty well. Her last out was week 14 with a 96 against the fillies. Ran 4th in the Stewart's Cup Classic, and now she's 4 and looks super good for this one.
Yes. After that, we have the Derby winner from 2 years ago, That Voodoo You Do, a homebred for Louise Bayou by Hold Above out of her beloved mare, Promises Kept. This horse is a complete beast, was on a pretty good winning streak last year, in between the Desert World Cup and the Stewart's Cup Classic. He was second in that Desert World Cup, probably would have won if he didn't draw the outside post position. He finished 3rd in the Classic, won multiple grade 1s last year. He's really good. Just wonder if a mile and 3/16 is a little too short for him. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Next up, we have the full brother to the aforementioned The People's Horse. This is the People's Hero for Glenn Escobar. This guy is like, so he's 6, right? But he's earned $1 million, but like he doesn't have a signature win. But he's successful, and he's run a 98. So, you know, he's a player. But I'm kind of concerned because there's a lot of speed in this race, and I'm not sure that he's kind of got the speed to hang with this field. He is coming in off a win though, and he won at this distance in his last start.
Next up, This Is Our Year. His last win was week 9 last year in the Louisville Classic. Then he hit the board a bunch before finishing off the board in the Seek Thrills handicap. He looks like he's going to be well rested coming into this one. He's got the breeding, so it's just a matter of whether or not he shows up. I think he's definitely got a shot here.
Next up is Torque, a homebred for Brianna McKenzie by Calumet out of a James Dean mare. This guy was kind of like nowhere a while back, like nobody knew who he was, and then he finished second in the Stewart's Cup Classic, and everyone was like, oh my gosh. Has run in a lot of shorter races. His last win of significance was in the Baltimore Special last year, beating Hoon Mouse and some other good horses in that. Since then, he's run fourth 3 times in a row against some really good horses, including This Is Our Year, who's in this field. He's kind of a little bit inconsistent. Like, he's really good, but which Torque is going to show up on Friday? Is it the Torque who wins the Baltimore Special at this distance with a 96, or is he going to throw in the towel? And I don't know. We'll find out.
And our last horse is World of Color, homebred for Danny Derby out of Let It Go, who, you know, that's
okay.
one of his best. Yeah, she's not bad. Last year in this race, World of Color was second behind Wolfguard, 3/4 lengths. Then he was kind of up and down. He won the Long Island Handicap, so that was good for him. And his last start was in the Stewards Cup Classic, where he was pretty even, finished 8th, split the field.
Woohoo.
All right, picks.
Oh my gosh, someone else go first. I don't want to start.
I'll go first. This race is like really difficult. So I am going with Never Cautious on top, like that he's beaten older. I think he likes this distance. Yeah, not much else to say about him. Then I'm gonna go with Spachan because I love her and she's so good. And she's gonna destroy. I think she was 3rd in the Baltimore Crown anyway, so you know it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility for her. And then I'm also gonna follow it up with, I guess he's old now. This Is Our Year. He was a Baltimore Crown winner. I still think that he's got some fight left in him, and he definitely likes going shorter. And I think last year his post position draw really handicapped him.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna take This Is Our Year on top. I kind of like the 5-year-olds, and he looks like he's running in good form, even though he doesn't really get a lot of chances to win. Then I'm going to follow it up with Torque. Really like that 4-week layoff, which, you know, seems like a weird call, but it's what I'm going to take. And then I'm going to finish it off with Spachan, the filly, because she's just really nice, and I think she could get up there.
All right. I think this is going to be a repeat of last year's Baltimore Crown. I'm going to take Never Cautious on top. Super good horse, super speedy. Like Mara said, he beat older. Super good. Spatula to come in second. I think that Stewards Cup run was just super weird, out of character. Draw a line through that. That's not the real him. I think the real him shows up today, aided by a shorter distance. And in third, I'll take Spachan because she's really good and she's awesome. And she's really...
We love her on this podcast.
We do.
No bias.
No.
Not at all.
Good luck to all running in the Pegasus races. May all your horses win, even though that's like not what's going to happen, but that'd be cool if it did.
But make sure you rub it in Nini's face when you win the Pegasus Classic.
Yeah, remember that Nini said that if your horse wins the Classic, then her horse would have beaten you.
On the real, that was a joke. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there before somebody sends me an angry personal message. And MLN 3/16 is probably too short for him anyway, so I digress.
All right.
Goodbye, though. What? Anyway.
On to the Triple Crown Trail?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Our first race of the week already ran. You know, oops. Maybe we shouldn't have come out with this so late. But yeah, that race was cool. Anyways, we're going to start talking about the Low-Key Masterpiece Stakes.
Time Without End won the Border Derby, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Might want to mention that.
Sire?
He knows
Sire?
Well, I don't know. Who was it?
I don't know. Some nag, probably.
Probably. Okay.
Anyway.
Low-Key Masterpiece. Yeah, this. So... got a 5-horse field. You know, it kind of looks like Joined Together could run away with this, coming off a 4th in Stewards Cup Juvenile. But there's some other good ones. Colty, I don't know. Coming out of the 2-year-old marathon. I know you really like that Mara, so do with that as you will. Yeah, so Colty would be my second pick, and then followed by Geralt of Rivia. I don't know. I can't pronounce words. For Randall Allen, come out of a maiden special weight, but looks like improving, and then Dave Matthews. So yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take Join Together on top as well, then Colty, but I'm going to deviate from the horse named after The Witcher because I can't pronounce his real name. And I'm going to take Newsflyer to come in third. He did beat that The Witcher horse in a race a start or two back, so I'll go ahead and play the Who Beat Who game and take him to finish third.
And my picks are exactly the same as Nini's.
Heck yeah.
Boring.
Don't, you know what, Dylan?
Go home.
All right.
Oh, there's a lot of races. We should keep going, guys. Let's
Yeah,
go.
probably.
No, and we're only previewing the Loki Masterpiece. Bye, everyone.
That's it. That's a wrap.
Yep.
God, we're a mess today. The next race is interesting. The next is the Pacific Coast Highway Stakes.
Nini wasn't even trying to be funny. Why do we laugh?
I don't know.
I'm just naturally funny. I'm just the most hilarious person. My very existence makes people laugh.
That sounds like we're bullying you. You probably are.
It's okay. Only my friends are allowed to bully me. Anyway, like I said, Pacific Coast Highway Stakes. Grade 2, up, down, I don't know, somewhere in California. I don't know what Bay Area Park is supposed to be.
That's
Forgive me.
NorCal, isn't it?
Is that supposed to be like Bay Meadows? Okay.
I thought that was supposed to be Golden Gate.
Who knows?
Rip Bay Meadows, by the way. It's sad. We got some good horses in here.
Maybe they should go to the other one.
Yeah. Symphony, the obvious standout here, the Stewart's Cup Juvenile Fillies winner, Trying the Boys. I should have put her in my TCT, but it was like really hard to take those other horses off, and then like maybe she won't run in the Derby. I don't know. She's really cool. I like her. There's Electricity, 2 for 2, Eric Nalbone, Mr. Derby himself. Not Danny Derby. Eric Nalbone. Eric Nalbone is Mr. Derby. Sorry, Danny. Don't kill me. And then whatever this is, Regina Moore, 2 for 4, good horse, Stewart bred, and then Whisper a Curse for Emily Mitchell.
We're gonna get hate mail from Danny now.
Good, it's fine. He already hates me. Yeah. Who do you like? Picks?
Symphony, because duh. And then probably whatever this is. That's kind of a tough one, but she's Stewart bred out of a pretty nice mare. But I mean, so is Electricity out of Philadelphia. Super well-bred horses. Maybe they should go somewhere else because, like, they could probably all win that other race.
Probably.
My picks are like legitimately the same as Dylan's and Symphony, whatever this is, and Electricity. So I'm just piggybacking off of whatever he says.
I'm gonna go Symphony, Electricity, and then whatever this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The end. Not really. Next race. Let's go.
We're feeling it. Okay, yes. Next one is the Tremendous Stakes, mile and an eighth at Dirtway Park. Dirtway Park. Nice. Okay.
Also, that's after.
Well, yeah, really. Yeah, kind
covering
of.
it up.
Definitely
Anyway.
can't figure it out. Anyway, we got 4 horses in here, 1 undefeated, as people see me. Then we also have Dauphin. I know how to say that. And then we also have Laser and some Rocky Socket. These are some pretty cool horses in here, but I am going to go super off the board for my win pick. I am going with Dauphin on top. I'm Team Chaos in this race, like completely Team Chaos. Next up, I'm going with As People See Me. I think he's honestly going to bounce after a 99. And that was a really tough race for him. What?
Nothing.
You do realize I edit this and I'm just going to play that back.
Wrong.
And to round out the try, I have some Rocky Socket.
Yeah. So I'm going to take As People See Me on top. Hence why I said you were wrong. Then some Rocky Socket. I think he's still going to like these shorter distances. I just think once he gets to that Derby distance, he's not going to be a huge fan. And then probably going to go... This one's tough. Like, these horses need to go somewhere else instead of all beating up on each other. Probably going to go Dauphin just because she's looked good in stakes already. Kind of bounced last out, but looks good to go here.
I'm going to take As People See Me on top. Tamara, or Mara, I don't know who Tamara is. She died. Mara is wrong, and this is fact. As People See Me is really good. He's going to win this race probably then.
If you're wrong and I'm right, you guys are never living it down.
That's fine, because we're right. Dauphin second for me. Some Rocky Socket, good horse. I think he's a better miler. I think a mile and an eighth is already pushing it, maybe, for him. I think he's still... I think that these other horses are better routers than him at this, whatever. Whatever, we'll see what happens. Whatever. As we see Dauphin, some Rocky Socket.
Stop bullying me!
Cool.
Okay. On to the Rising Star Stakes.
God, this is such a train wreck of a podcast.
We're doing it.
2 steward breds. You know, this race, they're not beating up on each other as much. This one makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Might as well just make my picks. Probably going to go the Way of Kings for Danny Derby. Pretty sure that's one of his more B-tier horses, but still super nice because it's Danny's.
It's also by Kingdom Come, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yes. And then probably gonna go Cosmic Red. That 88 last out looked really good. He's for Donnie Hidalgo, by the way. He's probably gonna like these shorter distances because I think Kentucky Wildcat likes to throw that. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, no one's correcting me. Then Priceless for Eric Nalbone because looks super nice.
I really want to pick the Way of Kings to finish first for no discernible biased reason at all. But Priceless, man, how do you go against James Dean, Ziva, Eric Nalbone? I'm gonna pick Priceless, then the Way of Kings, then here on out because John Exet Magic.
Oh God, I'm going with the Way of Kings. Then I'm gonna go with Cosmic Red, and then probably Priceless. Yeah, Priceless. I'm totally
Priceless.
Prepared.
We all are.
I'm pretty sure I wrote my picks before.
You just forgot about it.
Yeah, before Priceless had entered, or maybe I just completely skipped over him in my mind because that's not who I had written down. But now I'm looking and I'm like, Priceless looks pretty good here.
Next up is the Texan Derby. Yeehaw!
Nini's from Texas, guys.
Single Star Park. Okay, Lone Star Park, which Single Star Park is based on, is a dope track. Just saying, everybody should go. It's very pretty. This race is isn't mean to say that this race is kind of weak or just being truthful. I'm gonna go with being truthful.
Danny has the best horse.
Yeah, and this is a C tier Danny Derby horse.
Which would be my top tier, but
Yeah, but this guy was running for Danny. He was running in Japan and Turkey, so but he's bred really well.
Okay.
Yeah, Kaiser Reinhardt on top, and then I'm gonna go with Upstart. Todd Lucas, the filly, was 4th in Inglewood Starlet, and then I'll take the gelding Indo's Above to finish 3rd. Yeah.
I'm going with. I didn't even have my other 2 picks picked out. I just had Kaiser Reinhardt on top.
Fine.
Kaiser Reinhardt, dead heats.
You know what? You could probably put the rest of the random number generator, and it would be different every time. I think that those 3 are so evenly matched. I also think Danny's horse is evenly matched against some of these horses, but they're not. There's not a standout, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna disagree. I think Kaiser Reinhardt is a standout. I think
How does it feel to be wrong?
I don't know. But then probably gonna go Indo's Above just because male against females, and then a little bitter. Give Lisa Bennard's horse a little love.
Fountain of Gold Stakes.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
our favorite horses in this race.
Yeah. Let's go. The horse.
The grandma.
Alabama.
Took me a second.
The brother who is also his cousin. What was it? I can't remember.
So his father is also his
uncle.
No, nephew.
Nephew.
Or no, I don't know. This is confusing.
It's incest.
It's wrong.
But he still runs a 99 to break his maiden.
Yeah. Everybody should breed 1x3 matings. It works.
Apparently.
Anyway, Raven is gonna win. Sweet Home Alabama is gonna go all the way. Most sincerely yours, and then Love by the River for me.
Yeah, Raven. Duh. Then most sincerely yours, Phil Hefflich. Then I don't know. Chaos and Flesh for Jack Meyer. Jack Meyer has nice horses. They're fast.
He does.
That's what I had, Dylan. So, yeah. What?
Copier.
Stop.
This is getting to be like middle school.
God, should we wrap this up and sign out before we lose all of our fans?
Yeah. No one's listening to this now.
All right.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody, through this train wreck of a podcast.
We hope you enjoyed it. We promise the next one is going to be more profesh. Yeah,
I was talking about. We were so prepared and professional.
Hey, I had a lot of fun with this one.
Me too.
It was a good time. Maybe all of them will be like this. Just tell us what you think. Feedback is cool.
Yeah.
If you hated it, tell us. If you loved it, tell us.
But only send hate mail to Nini because my sensitive ears can't take criticism.
That's right.
If you hated it, then PM me. If you loved it, then post it in the thread. Okay. We love you.
Bye.
I used to wanna save you, now I don't. I used to need your voice and now I need to sleep alone. You were supposed to be the first sign, with all of the long nights, turning on your high beams, dying in the moonlight. I think I talked too much, you tried to walk it off, but now you got your gloves and now you box me out. I'm about the ring, but the only ring I want is the ring around your finger, but you meant to want. But I never tried to brush it off, cause you're my confidant, so let's talk. Your secrets, I've got some dirty laundry, can you keep it? I never promised you your dream, boy, I'm better as a cheap toy. Love, 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 the heart I gave you was a decoy. I'm just here to destroy. Love, 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 I never promised you your dream, boy, I'm better as your cheap toy.